Hey, Karma, baby. This is Grandpa Karma. How you doing out there? Everybody's fine, I hope. I had a few minutes, and I got to thinking about some of the things that I've been through, and I decided I would like to share more of it with you. I've got so much to be thankful for. God has blessed me. He's given me a second chance, and I'm here for a reason. And, you know, to battle stage 4 prostate cancer last year, and I can do some of the things that I can do now that I couldn't even come close to doing last year. About yourself, and you think about a lot of things. You think about how your life been, how it could have been if this hadn't happened or that hadn't happened. It doesn't take very much to change a person's life. Wrong place at the wrong time, or right place at the right time. But I've always, I was probably the best athlete in my high school. I ran track, played baseball and basketball. But I was always the one in the family that's doing stuff. And I guess what I'm leading up to. I got sick a couple of years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. It was a little over a year ago. And I hadn't been to the doctor for a while. And the reason I went is I was picking up something, and my back went out, so you gotta go, you're forced to go, so you go in there and they start taking blood here and there and there, here and there, and they did MRIs and CAT scans and ultrasounds and all kind of sounds and stuff. So we did biopsy and found out that I had cancer. And I hadn't been to the doctor in quite a while, because I kind of like shied away from doctors. And they didn't mince words, man. They just say, hey, this is what it is, and it looks bad. I'll be honest with you, it looks bad, I'm like, wow. But it's a funny thing about that. I didn't panic because I just always felt that I could beat it. I didn't panic. Other people was more excited about the diagnosis than I was, because I knew that that the man had his arms wrapped around me. The man above had his arm wrapped around me, because I'm a good person, and he knows it. But to hear something like that when you didn't expect it, you get blindsided. Came back and told my wife, she was devastated. But been married 50 years, you understand. I'm about to lose my husband, and you talking about stage 4 prostate cancer that spread already. It was so bad until they told me, how many times the doctor gonna tell you that chemotherapy and radiation won't help you? That don't give you a lot of hope, but this is what happened. So, it spread too far, it's in the bones and this, that, and other thing. I said, well, that's what you say. He gave me about a year to live, I think it was. So I say, that's what you think. I'm not going on like that, And I started to make some changes in my the way I ate, and going on a plant-based diet, and watching what you eat, and that's one of the changes. And then I've got some good information off the internet, people that had the same problem that I've had, what did they do and how they feeling, There's a lot of information out there, you just have to do your due diligence, because you're not the only person that's going through whatever you're going through. There's other people going through things a lot worse than you are. That saying about a man complained because he didn't have any shoes. Then he saw a man with no feet. So there's always somebody worse off. We all got our problems. The only difference is some problems depends on what you do, your position in society. Some problems are magnified more than other problems are, and depends on who you are. People got problems every day, but you don't hear about them because it's just regular people. But if a celebrity have a problem, you're gonna hear about it because that's big news. People want to hear about that. So we all vulnerable. So going back to my story, I went to start working on the plant-based diet, and I was at home, and my PSA level was really elevated. I don't know if I should tell you what it is, but you probably wouldn't believe it anyway. It was really up there. Okay, it was over 4,000, and it usually runs from 1 to 10. 10 being usually the worst, no help for you type thing, And I was at 4,000. That's unbelievable. The last time I checked, I was under 200. I was at around 200, right in the lower parts of 200. Can you believe it dropped that many thousand of points in that little time? Don't you tell me I didn't have no help. That's why I thank the man above every chance I get, because I know how good God's been to me. I know how good He's been. I don't know what other people. I'm not trying to be a Bible thumper or anything here, because whatever you do, you might not even believe in God. That's your business. I don't care, but I'm just telling you what He did to me. And I couldn't get out of the bed. I couldn't do anything by myself unless I had help. I tell you, I was hurting so bad. I'll give you an example. My wife used to touch me on the head like this, and it hurts me all over. Just like this, just touching it. It hurt all over. It's unbelievable. I used to be driving my car on the interstate, Interstates are usually kept in pretty good shape. But if I hit just a little bit of a bump in the road, oh my goodness, look like an 18-wheeler hit me. If I just hit a bump like that, I'm like, oh my goodness. It was just that bad. So what ended up happening was I was getting up one night, and I was trying to get to the washroom, and I fell, and I broke my right shoulder. I wonder if I could show you my scar. Nah, maybe that's better than that. Oh, my wife can always cut it down. But anyway, I've got proof of everything I'm saying. I don't lie. That's one thing I don't do. I don't lie intentionally anyway. And they called the paramedics, and I could not. I've never been hurt in my life. I've played sports all through high school. I told you that earlier. Never got hurt one time. Wait till I get 70 years old, and then I fall and get hurt. When you get that old and you fall and hurt yourself, a lot of times senior citizens end up dying, because of one reason or the others. I don't know if it's because of blood clogs or I don't know what it is, but just complications itself, don't take much for an old person, So I couldn't do anything. But I went on that plant diet, and with some help from my doctors, I don't take 2 pills. I think I take 2 pills, and it's getting to the point where they gonna be gone too. I'm feeling good every day. I go to church. The lady used me as a testimony at church today. She was telling another person, a friend of hers, that has cancer, a tumor in his head, that, they call me the hot tamale man. And she surprised me in church. She said, I tell them all the time, if the hot tamale man can come back, you can too. So right there is showing me that I am an inspiration to somebody somewhere. And maybe that's why God gave me another chance. Somebody says, ask somebody else, why go to church? Why do you go to church? I go to church because I'm afraid not to. I'm afraid not to go. After making God all the promises that I've made God, and I don't go to church, he might not like that. The big guy might get mad. And you don't want to hear and you don't want to see him or his actions when he get mad. So instead of taking that chance, hey, I'm afraid. That's about the only person that I'm afraid of beside my wife. But I went to the doctor and they worked on my shoulder and came back and I started doing therapy. I stayed in the swing bed. I stayed in the swing bed in the rehabilitation for 21 days. I've never been in the hospital a day in my life. So I ended up staying away from home over a month, I think, you know. And my wife was there with me every night. As a matter of fact, she was there filming for her YouTube channel, and somehow Facebook got a hold of it and used us in their commercial. Facebook Here Together. Beautiful commercial. We didn't even know they was going to use us. See how God worked? You know, they picked us up and said, can we use this? Sure, absolutely. And I see that commercial running everywhere. He called me from Chicago. I said, you and your wife on that commercial, that Facebook commercial. You know, she was laying in the hospital bed. I had no idea they was going to do that. So God is so good. That's why, you know, if somebody don't want to hear it, I just, you know, I say, you know, I'm talking to the wrong person. You know, you don't have to listen. I mean, you tell me one time you don't want to hear it, you won't hear it again from me. But my job is done once I tell you one time how good he is. You know, I'm not going to badger you. You know, but you can only speak for yourself, you know. Plus the fact that everybody's got to do their own thing anyway. You can't live for nobody. As much as you love your spouse has got to, what happens between her and God is her and God, you know. It's a personal relationship that a person has with their Savior. I mean, that's them. Yeah. It's just, you know, so many things when you're sick, so many things you take for granted, you know. Like for instance, just walking up the stairs. You feel like you're entitled to walk up the stairs, but you're not entitled to walk upstairs. You walk upstairs because God decided that He wanted to let you walk upstairs. You know. I couldn't go to the washroom without help. I couldn't raise my leg. Everything is just in this. See what God has brought me from. I just had to share it with you, you know. And the reason I'm sharing it with you, you know, it can happen to anybody. You know, take care of yourself and stay, you know, whatever you believe in, you know, whatever your higher being might be. You just have to believe that everything is going to be okay, and that's what I believe. You know, one thing I used to say. Whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way you're right, because it's a mind thing. You ever heard of mind over matter? Yeah. The mind can play tricks on you. You have to have a strong mind. You have to be a strong-minded person. And don't let anybody tell you that you don't have a chance, that chemotherapy wouldn't do you no good, that radiation wouldn't do you no good because you're too far gone. And to think that I am where I am now after being told that, I could have easily given up. But I'm here for a reason. And I think my reason is to help people and try to deliver a message and to try to give people encouragement. Because it's a lot of people out there that's not doing well. It's a lot of people out there that's sick. It's a lot of people out there that don't have anybody that care that they are sick. And it's tough enough being sick without having no one to care about you. I had my wife, I had my family, I had my sisters, my brothers. That helped. I had my friends. Some people have nobody. Those are the people that I'm here to
give them a testimony that they can pull through this thing with the help of God. Even if the doctors do their job, God guided their hands to make them be able to do their job as well as they do on you. So God works in mysterious ways. I'm not here to preach the Bible. I'm just here to tell you what God has done for me. I don't know what He's done for you, but I get a blessing every day, and I thank God. So we're going to be, I've got some other things that I'm going to talk to you about. And, every piece of information that I've got on my illness came from basically the internet. Some of the information that I've got came from the internet. A lot of people is going through what I'm going through, but they're doing good now. So anything out there that I hear that might help me in my recovering effort, going to help me get better, I'm going to do it. Because my philosophy is, at this point, I've got nothing to lose. I mean, what have I got to lose? They already said they couldn't help me, so I'm going for broke. And that's why I think God saved me, so that I could help somebody else. And I'm going to do my best to do that any way I can. And I thank God for every minute that He gave me. That's the truth. I mean, I was down to 110 pounds. Couldn't walk. Couldn't hardly talk. And I can run. I can run a few steps now, I can get around. I can move. You don't realize how important things is until you can't do a simple thing. It's like I don't know if you've been there, but have you ever had your lights turned out? I have. You don't pay your bill, they turn your lights out, right? Yeah, that's what they do. So it doesn't bother you in the daytime because you don't need the lights anyway, right? But at night, when you come inside of the house, the first thing you go is to the light switch because it's dark, and then the light doesn't come on. And you're like, oh, I don't have any lights. Then it hits you. That's the way life is. It just hits you all of a sudden. But, I had never been sick a day in my life. I was athletic, maybe a little overweight, but not obese. And I still participated in some type of sports. I sometimes would go to the health club, play a little basketball, all of that stuff, but you just never know where it's coming from, Like my wife say, getting old is not for wimps, so I'm going to try to change my diet best I can, pray for God to help me stay strong in what I'm trying to do, and just keep on going forward. I really like to thank you guys for being here, during my illness and with my wife. It means a whole lot. It means a whole lot to have somebody that cares about you, We're doing the hot tamale thing and stuff. So we'll probably be doing videos like 3 times a week. We'll see what happens there, because we want to make sure that you get videos that's going to be helpful. I just don't want to make videos to be making videos. I want to make videos that's going to help somebody, that's going to in some kind of way. I want it to be a positive aspect of what we're about. So I want to try to put up some quality information for people so it would help somebody. Okay? And on that note, I will say, hi-yo, silver away. We see you guys later. Love you.